Joining us now is NAACP of Georgia and Atlanta President Attorney Gerald Griggs. Gerald, you were there inside the courtroom for the testimonies given in that hearing against Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, with the judge expected to make a decision today. Go ahead and talk about what's at stake here.
Okay, so what's at stake is the determination of whether this case will continue in its current iteration with the current prosecutor. And I think that the judge is being very thoughtful. He's taking up until the last day of his own self-imposed deadline of today. And so I think today we will see a well thought out, thorough decision. I do not believe that the prosecution will be disqualified in this case. I disagree with Attorney Holly Waltman, who I know very well. They did not prove an actual conflict which adversely affects the rights of the defendants, which is the standard. I don't think the defense has met that standard. So I think that Judge McAfee will not grant the decision, and we will proceed with this case.
Yeah, we know if Fani Willis is taken off of this, whoever comes in would essentially have to start all the way over from scratch. So what did you make of the judge tossing out some of the charges against Donald Trump earlier this week? That was kind of a big wrench in the situation in the case.
Yes, I think that's a precursor to the ruling that's coming later on today. The judge did dismiss 6 charges, 3 against the current president because of a special demurrer. And what a special demurrer means is they have not sufficiently pled the charges to which the defendants can mount a defense. You have to specifically charge the law and the facts that point to what you are alleging happened that is criminal. And so the judge said that they could bring a new indictment with these charges more specifically pled. So I think he kind of signaled where he's going with this. If he was going to dismiss all the charges, he would not have just dismissed those 6. So I think he's kind of foreshadowed where he's going with his legal analysis. And I fully expect later on today he will make a decision that will continue to allow this district attorney's office to proceed with the current charges, and we proceed to more motions and a trial.
Yeah, earlier, as we mentioned, you are the president of the NAACP of the state of Georgia, as well as the city of Atlanta. This is why I want to ask you this question. Earlier this year, we heard Fani Willis talking to a church crowd, bringing up race as a reason for why the limelight has then been shifted onto her instead of Donald Trump, who's actually facing charges. Because let's be clear, Fani Willis is not facing any charges. She is in a hearing to see if she's going to stay on the case, whether or not. But does race have a place or a role in this hearing?
I think race does have a place and a role in this hearing. I don't believe that the prosecutor, had there been another complexion, would have been attacked this vociferously with personal information that is wholly irrelevant to the determination of whether the Fulton County election was attempted to be subverted in 2020. So I think she is correct in her analysis that this is a racial component, and the vitriol upon which has been unleashed on her, as well as others on her team, shows and is tinged with racism. So I think she is correct in that assessment, and that's why we're very interested in the outcome of this case, not only because of the racial impact to the prosecutor, but the racial impact to the voters who were attempted to be subverted in the 2020 election.
And we know a Superior Court judge is going to have a decision by 5 p.m. today. We'll surely keep an eye on that here on Local News Live. NAACP of Georgia and City of Atlanta President and Attorney Gerald Griggs, thanks so much for joining us here on Local News Live.
Thank you for having me.